have an opportunity to hear briefly from three wonderful panelists about making being peace a place of transformation and healing for everyone. We know that everything isn't perfect, and as we learn to include all of us as well as others who are not part of our community, we wanted to make sure at this early stage that there was a chance for people to speak about the needs of the Being Peace community, of the CO, the Plum Village UK community, as in the early days of the Being Peace Centre, which of course is the biggest project that we've done as a community. So first I'm going to invite Sibling Yonten, who will speak on behalf of those in our Sangha with disability and neurodiversity. So welcome, and I'll hand over to you.
Thank you, dear Sita. Thank you, dear community. Are we, sorry. Are you hearing me okay? Sorry, I just turned it onto a single view, so I couldn't, even if I asked that question, I wouldn't have known.
Yes,
There we go.
heard loud and clear.
Super, thank you. So, to enter into my short snippet of time, I would just like to offer a short self-description for those who are not using their cameras or are just using audio. I'm a person with a white complexion, 55 years old, inhabiting a male form. I have a shaved head and shaved face, brown eyes, and a slightly rounded face with glasses usually, which I'll place on in a second. They're dark glasses, so I don't like to put them on straight away because it can look a little bit menacing. I wear the brown robe of a Buddhist monastic, and I'm seated in front of a brown and saffron wall. So here come the menacing glasses. There you go. All is clear. So, dear Thai, dear Sister Chanduk, dear siblings on the path, and dear ancestors of spirit and blood, who have journeyed before us on this path so that we may practice here today, I offer deep gratitude and acknowledgement and appreciative of this opportunity to share a small insight into experiences of practitioners who, like myself, live with both disability and or neurodiversity. And I'd like to express a sincere aspiration and flower watering to everyone who has supported me over the past few years within the Plum Village community, be that be online, at in-person retreats, and that's within Plum Village UK and Plum Village in the Maha Sangha, or through compassionate companionship and mindful mentorship on my journey is to become an aspirant in the Order of Interbeing. Also, I'd like to just extend quickly a sense of gratitude to the staff at Sidcot, where we enjoyed our last retreat. I've been there twice. The first time they had a beautiful big building and put this wonderful adapted room and everything, and I couldn't get my wheelchair through the main door. But they rallied round and we sorted that. I went back this year and they put in a whole brand new door so that I could get through this door. So for the Sidcot staff, thank you so much for your support on that retreat. So I share body and mind with neurodiversity, and through this lens I can speak rather rapidly, so I will keep taking a breath, but also I come with notes, but I'm quite adept at going off at a tangent, so please bear with me. And if I could have a little half bell reminder that I'm getting to the end of my time, that'd be a real support as well. So this term neurodiversity, it's one that's used quite a lot nowadays. It's a relatively recent term, came through via Judy Singer in the 1990s, and their intention was to remove the bias and the stigma from the experiences of those who perceive and interact with the world differently, and to acknowledge the value of diverse ways of thinking and being. In my mind, this is a beauty to bring into the Sangha as we work through these uncertain times. And while the term itself is relatively recent, neurodivergent people have been around, and their perspectives have always existed in some form. You know, be they the wise woman of the tribe, the shaman, the builders, the engineers. There are many people who, if you do a quick AI check or Google check, I'm sure lots of them will spring up, but people like Albert Einstein. And these neurodivergent individuals have shaped the world that we live in today. So this term neurodiversity itself, it encompasses a broad spectrum of differences, including but not limited to autism, ADHD, Tourette syndrome, dyslexia, dyspraxia, and the list is, you'll get the 7 top ones, but then the list is quite expansive into where that falls. Now, one thing I would like to look at quickly is where is the person that has been the word escapes me, compared to. And that person comes from a neurotypical person, or in fact a made-up person for the DSM-5. So this there's a saying that I'm not totally keen on, but if it's said that if you met one autistic person or one person with ADHD, you've met just one person with autism or ADHD. There's a link that I can pop into the chat in a little bit around the braincharity.org.uk that will give you a lot more insight and more space and time as needed if you're willing to and would like to. Please do look into these aspects. There's a charity that runs a neurodiverse week in March every year. Lots of free talks going on there. One aspect that does touch a lot of people within that neurodiverse umbrella is one of rejection sensitivity dysphoria, RSD. Now, I'll just touch on this one aspect. It's a condition marked by intense emotional pain in response to a more than likely perceived rejection or criticism. Now, common among individuals, with ADHD and autism, RSD can lead to overwhelming sadness, anxiety, low self-esteem, making self-regulation really challenging within those moments. This is something that I experienced within myself. Fortunately, I have a beautiful practice that I can fall back on, but that doesn't always work all the time, and it certainly doesn't work for all of us. So that's a little touch upon neurodiversity. So turning to disability, in particular physical disabilities, as this is my lived experience. Within the Equality and Disability Act of 2010, we gained a lot of legal protection as disabled people within the UK. However, from a personal point of view, there's still much progress to be made regarding physical accessibility to spaces. This is something that I've been asked about within the Being Peace Centre, and hoping to visit there in February so that I can offer a bit of insight, though we are already in discussion through email. There were some points brought forward through from people I asked within the communities, and one of those being brought forward was the reflection of ourselves within aspects of leadership, within trusteeships, within the course leaders and such like. And I'm hoping through our continued conversations, these will open up more opportunities for us to join and learn from each other, so that we can increase these opportunities for people reflective of myself with neurodiversity. Also, I'm a genderqueer monastic as well, so in those fronts, but I'll leave that for our next speaker. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through the notes here, just hurrying along. So valuing the lived experience is equally important, I feel, as to formal qualifications, though I'm wholeheartedly in awareness that we need experts within the roles, especially at this tentative time where we're entering this building of the new centre. But as I say, I hope over the years and through continued communication, that will become more apparent that where the skill sets change. And just skipping through a little bit quicker again. So in my mind, that was a bit of an info dump, but I'll pop my email in the chat, as we have within Plum Village, Plum Village UK, wonderful opportunities to connect and look deeper into documents such as the Plum Village Primer. We have a Plum Village Zoom Primer for working and supporting people with differences within the physical and neuro view. And I do, again, I feel that personal investigation is a real support to our practice. The last thing I'd finish off with would be that I'd like to offer gently naming the impact of language, especially the language used by those outside neurodivergent, disabled, marginalised, and other communities within our affiliate sanghas. One of those wordings that I don't like is the affiliate groups, because these sanghas are sanghas within their own right, and the possibility is there to join as advocates. It's just that we need safety for a lot of the people within these sanghas, so the application phase might be a little bit more vigorous rather than a couple of clicks by the mouse. So yes, this aspects of language and how we use it to describe people, even if it's conversations outside of earshot of other people. I feel that if we bring this forward to our way of thinking and our way of being, that's held within the teachings of the Thai, our continuations of body, speech, and mind. So yes, I feel within my communities and the communities that we're going to be enjoying in a moment. This is a current thread that flows through us all. And if there is ever an issue, then please just ask. That's usually a mantra that I like to bring forward for myself. So I may well have overrun massively then. I do apologise.
Thank you, Sibling. We'll just have a sound of the bell and then we'll move on to our next.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, Sibling Yonten, for your thoughts, heartfelt, and for much for us to reflect upon. I'd like to now invite Kate MacKenzie, who will speak on behalf of the Gender Diverse community. And Kate, just a reminder, there'll be a half bell and you'll have 2 minutes, and then we'll invite a full bell to end. I hope that's okay. Thank you.
Those who know me will know why I'm laughing. Because you ask me to bring insight and wisdom, you're going to get a one-liner, or I'm going to go on and on and on. So let me try the middle path. My name's Kate MacKenzie. Essentially, no one is really their name. Most things that are and have ever been don't really have names. My name is also Compassionate Heart of the Source, and I thank Angie for the hand on my shoulder that gave me that. In Sidcot, my certificate's here, 24th of October 2022. I'm a pacifist and always have been. I'm an anarchist and always have been. I'm a vegan and have been for 33 years. I'm drug-free and alcohol-free, have been for 11 years. I've worked in right livelihood for all my working life. This is how I go to work. I'm working class. I have no agency and no influence in media or in local government. So those of you who have agency and influence in media and local government, I address some of what I'm saying in particular to you. Please take this message out there in difficult times for the gender diverse community. So what is gender diversity? Well, okay, I'm going to stop a minute and I'm going to say, Dean, it's great to see you. I'm glad you're well enough to be with us. Right. What is gender diversity? Well, we're coming up to Christmas in this country, whether we're Christian or not. Picture a Christmas tree. Breathe deeply. Picture a Christmas tree. How many people will be picturing a tree unadorned without decorations? I don't think many of you. Because if you're picturing that, you're picturing a fir tree. Now imagine the fir tree in a forest of fir trees, knowing it's a Christmas tree, knowing it needs to be adorned, but knowing also that when it adorns, that's all that it's doing. So I make a decision. I opt in today to appear in how I appear all the time. I bring no wig. I'm wearing pajama bottoms, wearing a t-shirt. And here I am, as exposed as I can be. So I actually made some notes. Those are there. So this tree, the same as all of us, has no agency over its treeness. It just came to be. It's the sum total of all conditions that were before it. And that's the same with us gender diverse people. We don't particularly know why, but we know what we can teach you. I'm an aspirant, halfway through my aspirancy, and I laugh an awful lot in the company of my Dharma teacher, my mentor, and that's really appreciated. And yet I couldn't arrive at practice without this intersection of my gender diversity coming with me. Literally impossible. I'm that kind of convergence. So what can people do? Well, right now, for all the right livelihood I have, all the commitments to mindfulness trainings and avoiding harm in the world that I felt were always the right thing to do, I'm told again and again and again that I'm a perpetrator, I'm under suspicion, that I'm mentally ill, that I'm deluded, that I'm an abomination, basically, depending what your religious outlook is. So we need protection. And when we stand and sit as a Sangha, side by side, can we have that? My experience of honor the driver of the vehicle, honor the inhabitant of the body, the vessel that we're traveling through this life with, and respect the pronouns, because then you're talking my story, not your opinion. When it comes down to it, my response to being misgendered will often be, you're partly right. And you're partly right because I'm aware of the biology. I'm aware of the sound of the voice. But I'm also aware of the schooling, the education, the media systems that have informed your incredulity as to my situation. My situation is real and deep, can only exist the way that it does. I look forward to being part of Plum Village. I very much look forward to maybe being the first trans woman order member. And I look forward to confounding expectations further and further and further. So I'm bowing out, sending love to all of you.
Dear Kate, thank you so much for your presentation. Please, can we have a full sound of the bell? Thank you again, Kate, and lovely to see you again. And now, please, can I invite Renuka Bhakta, who will speak on behalf of Colours of Compassion. And just a reminder that after about there'll be a half bell, and then you'll have a couple of minutes to complete.
Can someone invite Kareem as well to be here? Because we're going to split the 8 minutes. So I'm going to do the first half and the second half. So thank you, Sita. So lovely to be here. And it's been such a long time, actually, that I've been on retreat and met some of the old friends that I've practiced with. So just gazing out and seeing lots of familiar faces and new faces is making my heart really expand. So, and Ho Ting, did you say you wanted to spice it up? So I've been drinking chai and I'm hoping that I've got some spice elements in me, and also got some gingerbread biscuits that my Canadian cousin sent over. So the spice is here, it's in the house. So I'm connected and usually associated with the Colours of Compassion Sangha. And I just wanted to share a few words, really. There's so much to share, but I'll just go a little bit of the history. Many of you may know that this Sangha was officially started in 2015. But needless to say, the seeds and the seeds were planted long before then. Having chats with teachers, with Dharma teachers, with friends, with OI members here, practitioners. So many to name, so I'm not going to miss anyone out by trying. And also just recognising that there had been a Colours of Compassion retreat in US with 500 attendees. And Ty had literally approved it by just showing his skin colour and saying, yes, I'm also a person of colour, giving an official go-ahead to Carriageour to organise this. So for us in UK, it's also been a long journey. And as we sit here now, today, our presence is recognised, and we're very grateful, very grateful. And it's important also, though, to remember how much of work has gone into this and how to get there, to get to this point. And for years, we've had to really face a lot of challenges, like explaining why our space was needed. Sometimes we were seen as separate or even divisive. So we were challenged a lot and questioned. And at times there was also doubt that seeded in us and directed at us. And sometimes we even carried that doubt ourselves. So there's a lot of work to be done internally and externally. But I think the beauty of this is that we knew it was important and we kept going. There's a real energy of, this does make sense. Let's go for it. You know, we may lose some friends along the way, but we're also building. And so we did build those strong relationships between us, but with allies too, because of the vision that we believed in. So what can I say? With that vision, I also had the same vision when I was on my first retreat, that how can I bring Dharma to my people, to the people that I know it will make such a big difference in their lives. And that was in 2003. So for many people, Colours of Compassion has been a refuge, a real place where over the past decades, we've been welcoming people from different diversities. We're not one homogenous group. We've allowed for that space for it to be welcoming and friendly and comfortable, and really kind of seeing things done differently than what we were shown. Predominantly in the Dharma spaces, it's been predominantly white, and you know, the culture there had to be shifted for us to expand for our communities. And so people found belongingness with us. They found the practice. People have received 5 mindfulness trainings on retreats. They've discovered a home and a place where their culture realities were really understood. There was generally no feeling of, I have to explain my existence here or my hurts or where I'm coming from. So it was far from being separate. We did the work and nourished a lot of people through the Plum Village practices. We opened up access for people, bringing more people into the stream of our lineage. And that makes me very happy and makes me smile. And to keep this going and to keep doing this, we do obviously need support. Constant support, practically and financially. The community building does take time, it takes energy, we're all volunteers, and we need real resources. And if we are really truly wanting a diverse Sangha, we need to invest in the people. It's the people resources is what is doing the work, and obviously trying to reach out to other communities. So we also ask that our voices are in the mainstream, that we are taking leadership in ways that's cultural, different, building communities, you know, bringing in the gingerbread biscuits or the chai at Sangha meetings. And it to be genuine. So it's a very integrated, purposeful, meaningful, not tokenistic way that we're involved. So when this does happen, because when we're all fully visible in this tradition, it sends a clear message. It's 3 sentences: that we are welcome, you have arrived, and you are home. So I'm going to pass on to Kareem, and really want to thank Kareem as well for being alongside me these years.
Thank you, dear Renuka. Thank you, friends. I'm just not sure we have time. Do we have like a minute left, or I could be
Yeah, we've got well, we can extend for another 2 minutes, but that's
another 2 minutes. Let's see. Thank you. Yeah, just, showing up together in our way of building Sangha together. And, we were kind of inspired but daunted about, how big this prompt or reflection is of offering our vision for equity, for inclusion in such a short amount of time. And I think, maybe the piece I'd like to bring on our behalf is just sharing that this is a long journey that needs a lot of work, and that recognizing we are beginning to move in a positive direction. We have a lot of opportunity with a new center, and an opportunity to be more of a refuge for people of color in these times of genocide, the rise of the far right, much, more lack of safety. And so I just wanted to share a very brief kind of perspective, an invitation to a perspective shift, that goes from this understanding of inclusion as representation. So who's in the room, how many brown and black faces can we have on a promotional video, towards an understanding of inclusion as building multicultural Sangha. This framing comes from a wonderful Chinese-American Dharma teacher called Larry Yang, who founded East Bay Meditation Center. And it's this understanding of Sangha as culture. And as the Dharma has taken root in the West, there's many complexities there, and some of that reality is that the predominant culture is a culture of whiteness. So becoming honest and looking at that clearly and honestly, the space where we say everyone's welcome, there's room for everyone, even though there are different people there, we are still coming together to some extent into a culture, an environment of whiteness. And so multicultural Sangha means a deeper cultural integration of all of us. And what that means there's not really a shortcut to what that means to creating a multicultural space. But what it means is that we're just committed. We're committed to a long journey of work, to understanding the experiences of people of color in the Dharma, BIPOC, Dharma voices, the truth that they carry, and also beginning the work to look into this culture of whiteness and the way the culture of whiteness kind of creates this predominant norm reality. So it's kind of like not just who's in the room, it's the cultural space in the room, looking at the cultural spaces in the room. And of course, White Awareness Sangha have been doing this incredible work for many years with our beloved elders, Jesse and Anthony, really just inviting you, encouraging you to join them and do this exploration. It's really heart work, really inspiring, beautiful work, and it's also difficult and uncomfortable work. And that's the kind of the work we need to build a multicultural Sangha, is to become honest in our inquiry and to consider this our engaged Dharma practice. So not necessarily looking at these inquiries as an add-on, but this is our engaged Buddhist practice, to look at what cultures are we creating and who's welcome in them, and how can we shift from the norm, what's comfortable, what's familiar, what does that take? Are we willing to do it? Are we willing to sacrifice the familiar, the comfortable, and using our practice to do that? Sorry, that was much longer, but
Thank you so much, Renuka and Kareem, for your insightful sharing. I'll invite Ho-Ting to invite the bell for a moment. So thank you, dear friends. We do need to close, I know, very soon, but I just want to really take another moment to thank all of those of you who have shared just now, Sibling Yonten, Kate, Renuka and Kareem. I know personally myself the courage it takes to share heartfully these difficult subjects that meet so much that we hold in our heart, and to feel that we are heard. I want you to know that you are heard, and that the Sangha together very much wants to work together so that we can address issues of inclusion, and so that we can work together. Just one comment that had been made on the comments, just to let you know, Ian, yes, there are people who are from different backgrounds on the trustee board. No one person is all of those things, and none of us who come from diverse backgrounds, including myself, want to be a professionally diverse person. We want to be recognized for the enormous range of skills and talents that we all, as people of color, people with disabilities, neurodiversity, those across the gender spectrum, want to be recognized for who we are, and the courage that this requires for all of us in the community to be able to share and welcome everyone.